In your opinion, who is dumber than flat earthers? I expect to be downvoted to hell take as I don't think flat earthers are dumb. I think they are lonely and they feel like they have no access to the decisions that affect them, and they discover a group of welcoming people gathered around a concept that gives them a tiny amount of power in the form of knowledge that everyone else is in denial about. Maybe the cure for this sort of thing isn't lecturing or mockery but empathy and a better understanding of how human psychology works. Speaking honestly as someone who has spent probably over 100 hours arguing with flat earthers in Instagram comment sections, I literally have an alt account dedicated solely to doing that. I can say that you will be hard pressed to find a stupider group than flareathers are. It doesn't help that they don't stop at flat earth. The majority of them are also anti-vaxxers, and major bigots. The idiots who make videos about various geological features and claim they're actually ancient buildings melted in some ancient nuclear war are pretty dumb. You can readily find very simple explanations of this kind of geology online in like 30 seconds, but it looks melted so must be melted. There are also a contingent who try to claim things like mesas are gigantic petrified trees. Anti-vaxxers are definitely top of the list. We pretty much in Paleogone just had to cause an entire comeback through their BS ways. Totally horrible unnecessary way to die too. Can't understand why you wouldn't want your children to have the medical care that could ultimately save their lives. Makes me think of Jehovah's Witnesses. I won't even start that. Most serious Mandela effect adherents. I got banned from our weekend for literally offering those people psychological explanations for why they remember things differently. Those people don't want to learn anything. You tell them okay, here's why your memory and perception are wrong, they take it as an offense. They're like a cult. That's a hard one since flat earth isn't usually the only stupid bullshit they believe in. The moon is a hologram meant to mess with our minds. Trees can reverse their respiration and will start stealing all the oxygen. Cars don't actually need gasoline but are programmed to not run without it. I have heard all of these things. I might get downvoted to oblivion. But Westerners that are eating up propaganda about horrors 1,000 miles away, and their response is to pick a team and believe anyone else is literally pedo-Satan Hitler. They are part of the problem and punching down on suffering. Also, they are ignorant, gullible and dumb as fuck. Chemtrails. That video of the woman spraying something into the air at contrails and then announcing with satisfaction that she'd gotten rid of them as they naturally dissipated 10 minutes later. That's gold standard stupid. Or maybe we should have stupid levels rated by fecal matter? That's diarrhea level stupid. Sovereign citizens are right up there. A few magic words are all you need for a little get out of jail free card. Pizzagate conspiracists. A secret cabal of pedophiles in the basement of a pizza place. The FBI has refused to search said basement because the pizzeria in question doesn't even have a basement. I don't want this to be political, but any theory that claims Jews are secretly in charge of anything. A very brief review of history show that Jews getting the shit end of the stick in almost every country in time, going back to their origination story in Egypt. I heard of one where someone thought the government was lying about the size of airplanes they're smaller than they claim. I mean just why would the gov go to all that bother for such a stupid thing? Then again, logic is hardly their strong suit. People who believe that the earth is only 6,000 years old and dinosaurs either didn't exist or cavemen lived with dinos. Just utter ludicrous. The Earth is billions of years old and dinos died off literal millions of years before a human was a human. People who reject science. Flat earthers and conspiracy theorists can't hold a candle to people who don't believe in science. No group of people could have a more negative impact on society if they were ever in power or any position of influence. I used to have a co-worker that thought the moon landing was a lie, specifically because it was supposedly impossibly far away, and humans could never travel that far. Not only was he convinced, but he was extremely smug and condescending about it. Anti-vaxxers. They actually put people in danger with the lies they are spreading. It is not just erroneous or out-of-date information. It is complete disregard and disdain for science, medicine, and the well-being of others. Anti-vaxxers. Flat Earth people do not kill anyone except themselves, and even then it was only 1-2 persons. Anti-vaxxers do real damage out of being in a cult they do not see as a cult but their opinion, which is absolute. There was a billboard I passed recently in Montana with a picture of plane contrails and in big angry letters said something like "Say no to harmful geoengineering." So probably the blokes that paid for that billboard. I had a discussion with a friend last night about conspiracy theorists. We concluded that nobody is dumber than flat earthers. We decided that there can't be any way that the flat earthers actually believe that crap. Religious fanatics. killing themselves and others over what? The fucking Jews, Muslims and Christians all believe in the same God but disagree about what actual, mortal, humans had to say about their God. Trump supporters. Being a flat earther, while egregiously dumb, is essentially benign. The MAGA crowd are out there wielding their ignorance like a cudgel, trying to reshape America and the world with it. Holocaust or any other genocide deniers. On a similar vein, those that think school shooting victims were actually actors. How sick of a person do you have to be to try to deny the death of someone? Anyone over at Unpopular Opinions? How can you all have such a terrible hive mind? And how do you all completely disregard the name of the sub? At this point, calling our opinions everyone already agrees with. People who fight between themselves and hate each other for the sake of a politician running for office or in power, even if the guy doesn't care for their lives and lets them go to jail on his behalf. My Bill is a flat earther. He holds a great many other stupid beliefs and ideas likely as a consequence, but let me tell you, if there are dumber people in this world, I don't want to meet them. The senator from Missouri that said women who are raped don't become pregnant because if it's a legitimate rape the female body has ways to shut that whole thing down. Dumb as a bag of rocks. Anti-vaxxers, or blind Trumpers. Flat earthers are their own person level of stupid, they can go hurt themselves in a corner. But these other two? Responsible for death and damages incalculable. Koalas. They literally eat one of the most nutritionally deficient plants in the world. And they cannot recognize food if it is placed in a bowl or plate. They are also riddled with chlamydia. I was going to say anti-vaxxers because flat earthers are just stupid and don't hurt anyone else. But then I saw the Holocaust deniers and forgot they exist, so going to change my vote to that. QAnoners. I would sooner question the basic laws of physics than believe that there is a secret cabal of child sacrificing elites and the only one who can save the children is Donald Trump. There are people who believe that dinosaurs are fake, and then all fossils were created by Satan to deceive humanity. I cannot honestly think of a more deluded group of people even if I tried. Trump supporters. After his lifetime of scamming, bullying, threatening, cheating, thieving, adultery, abuse, etc., how anyone with character support this con artist is simply beyond me. There's these two girls talking about how all the monuments in the Capitol building had to have been built before America existed. It's wild trying to get through their hoops. My Mill's boyfriend who thinks he can survive a goo shot unless it went into his heart and he can beat Mike Tyson with his boxing skills. Unfortunately, I am not lying. The general population sucks now. It's crazy. Science and common knowledge has been attacked so heavily by the social media algorithms, warping minds at light speed. I genuinely think they're about average. Like, I don't see how viewing Donald Trump as a respectable president is any different from believing that the earth is flat. I think most of flat earthers are just trolls, not necessarily stupid. They just enjoy us uptight folks get bent out of shape about something really obvious. Mormons. No offense to any, I've met lots who are great people, but I have no idea how anyone in 2024 could read Joseph Smith's works and be like, yep, this is legit. Leftist. They believe anything they're told and refuse to hear anything outside of their own beliefs. They'll literally attack you for stating an opposing opinion. Political extremists no matter the nationality. I've seen a lot of extremists from Brazil and the US and they both look similarly stupid no matter who they follow. There are guys who believe that art pieces like Michelangelo's are not sculptures but petrified humans because it's impossible to make such realistic statues. People who believe COVID vaccines cause the current excess death which running at 10% above the 5-year average and have been since 2021. Lunatics. Anti-vaxxers and nationalists wreak their havoc on those around them with wanton disregard. Flat earthers can be stupid without fucking up my life. So yeah, the circles containing anti-vaxxers, flat earthers, QAnon, WWE and Trump fans, I always wonder what that Venn diagram looks like. Would it be just a circle? People who view supporting Israel or Palestine as a black-white issue or team sport and not a complex situation that doesn't have any good solutions. Trumpists. At least flat earthers don't donate their entire life savings to paying for the criminal defense of the person that scammed them. The customer who came into the store I worked at during lockdown and insisted that COVID was actually Ebola and Zika glued together in a lab. People that think Trump is some divine being that is trying to save America. I can't understand how someone could be that woefully ignorant. Any American who believes it's their right to bear arms. Fuck you and everything you stand for. Your laws surrounding guns are a fucking joke. Ramana Digital's followers. spending years being effectively slaves to a woman who claims to be Queen of Canada yet lives in a camper van. The people buying those flat tummy skinned wraps and teas. Just go running and do some crunches a couple days a week. It will work better. My grandmother didn't believe in other planets. My dad once showed her Saturn's rings through his telescope and she said it wasn't real. People who can't be bothered to think critically for 2 seconds or Google and instead make a post on social media asking for help. Thank God's lots are dumb enough to advertise it by wearing shirts or bumper stickers on their beaters so they can be avoided. Some people believe that my nation Germany is not a nation, but a legal company owned by the USA. Yeah, I don't know either. Immigrant Trump supporters. I've met several that believe that he is in support of them despite the evidence to the contrary. Anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers. At least flat earthers are hilariously dumb, while the anti-vax mask people are legit dangerous. People with extremist political ideology and believing that the person they vote for actually gives a shit about them. Lol. There are people who believe that mountains are fossilized giant trees. People who think infant male circumcision is hygienic. At least flat earthers are not harming anyone with their stupidity. Well, Reddit is certainly predictable. Sorted by controversial. Biden voters down votes. Trumpers up votes. The people who all went to Dallas to wait for JFK and JFK Jr. to return and pronounce Trump the Emperor of America. Honestly, anyone who keeps trying to predict the end of the world. Bonus points if it's the rapture specifically. Conservatives, Republicans and religious people. There tends to be a giant overlap among all of these round earthers. I can't believe that these people still deny the solid fact that we're on a turtle shell.